Hi, I'll be very quick. I'll just do a quick introduction to Dimitri, with whom I work with. I'm actually Lebanese, so I will switch to Lebanese. bon أنا كتير غريب لإلي أشتغل هون. أنا بازي بباريس كمان. بشتغل مع ديمتري. أنا بشتغل على كل شيء project management towards exec board basically. And for me, what Dimitri is going to present basically is really a state of the art in terms of technology. لأنه لنا it's a very luxury. أنه we have the possibility of putting into production every day basically. So whenever a feature is ready, it goes live. We don't care. We don't have to wait for a release. When is the next release? Is it next week? Is it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks? So basically, you don't have the frustration of, you know there's something that's going to deliver value. You don't have to wait for it to go live if it's ready. And you don't have all the interactions to manage. Oh, okay, if I do this, oh, I'm going to have a problem there and there and there. We don't really care about this. And for me, it's a huge luxury. So, up to Dimitri.
Thank you. So he said everything. You have questions? No. The key is we work for the business to make value and to make money. So the whole story is how do we deliver value a bit sooner. So I'm Dimitri Baeli, so thank you for the sponsors, for sure. Yeah. You're not hearing well, so we'll close the door, please, and I'll speak louder. Yeah. So lefure.com is a website about insurance subscription online. We are presenting all the offers from insurers online for the French people. So we are working with like 60 partners and we are presenting live the prices for everybody, for the exact prices they can get for their insurance. So insurance aggregator. The team, we have 25 developers working on the same code base, split it in 4 teams. We have business analysts, 2 admin systems, and 1 delivery manager, myself, and 1 program manager, Rami. And we are trying to connect IT and business together. So Rami has a presentation this afternoon on the exec and features management, portfolio management, and I'm presenting the delivery part. We have like 500,000 line of codes, and I don't know who was here before, but we have like 30,000 tests, unit tests, so it's really technical tests, and we have like 200 human tests that were done manually, and now it's automated. And so the story is in 2011, the team existed for like 4 years, already doing Scrum for 4 years, so well agile, but in monthly release, so iterative. And we were doing like planning at the beginning of the month, coding session for 1 month, and at the end of the month we deliver. So for many companies this is already really agile because we release software each month with things that are needed by the business and that we hope works at the end of the month. So that was our state in 2011, and I joined the company to try to get a bit smoother and to release a bit more often. What we measure about the releases is each release was about 360 man days of work because we had like 15-20 people working for 1 month, so it's 300 man days, so it's quite big. 2 years after we worked on delivering. I wasn't pushing really hard to release more often, but with the organization of the team getting better, we succeeded to release every week something and every month bigger things. So we did like 60 release in a year because we do a bit more than 1 week, and for each release it's like 100 man days of work for each release. And then where we are now is releasing every day means you have to release 200 times a year, and you release 30 man days each time. So it's easier to understand this way. When you have few release, you release big things, and you have to do a lot of tests. You have a lot of risk of conflicts or issues, and the people are waiting 1 month to have their feature, even if it's small. And when you release each day, you have to release really a lot, and you release small things. So that's the challenge about continuous delivery, about releasing small things, small risk, but you have to do it a lot. So it's really that difference. So that's the goal, to release small things. And it has a price, release often. So, and on our side, so it's really hard to see, but we are working in many features in parallel. And our way to work, as Rami explained, is we release what is ready, and I try to explain that, and we work in parallel. The features go their way, and we take only what is ready. So there's a lot of books, there's a lot of writings, and I've selected what I suggest you to read, because it's better explained than what I could say on that. It's only the books I've read and the practice I had. So as it has been introduced, definitely the Agile Software Development Manifesto helps in the mindset. So you have to read it and to try to understand. And the line that is interesting for us is this one: working software over comprehensive documentation. So the value is in releasing the features live. In the principles, the first principles is to deliver to the customer early and continuous delivery of valuable software. So it's the same thing. We have to deliver to make money. Everybody, or many enterprises are releasing every 100 days or more. When you have that, there's really, when you want to go to daily release or other company releasing 10 times a day or 100 times a day, which is a bit crazy for me, but I guess they know how to organize that. There's some consequences about releasing more often. And the consequence is really at testing level. The key is at that level. And for us, it was that level. It's really about when you release 300 man days, you have to do a formal test of all the software. You have to review everything because many things has changed. And when you go to one release each week, you don't have the time to test everything, and you change fewer things so you can be more focused on what you test. And then you can do some expedite release. But if you want to release every day, you have to be faster on testing. You have to get more automated tests, and you test fewer things so you can focus a bit more on testing. So here, the QE side has to evolve, and when you release 10 times a day, there's quite only one known solution, and one effective solution is when the developers are able to say, I'm ready to go live. They have the test, they have the automation, or they have the tools that says, it's green, you can go live. So they do their own change. And at Le Furet, we don't have any QE team. It's not that we removed the QE or the quality test. It's we've integrated that in the developer mindset and roles. So we have to make the developers caring a bit more about the features and the tests. Another book, Continuous Delivery, for sure. The summary I do about that book is 5 things. The 3 first one are easy. Fast build. Your software has to be built really fast. If you have to wait 1 hour for the developer to build the system, you can't do it many times a day. So you have to have fast build, unbreakable builds. So that means the developer can't break the system, or when they push some code, the system should work, and they have to learn to work step by step with an always working system. And the deployment should be really fast. So the cycle of I code, I test, I deploy should be really fast. And I say it's easy. In fact, it's not at all easy to do. But the goal is easy, going fast about building, testing, and deploying the system. So it took us a long time to improve that, but for me it's the main focus. If you don't have that, you can't deploy really often. And then the real continuous delivery stuff is about what occurs in production. Because if you want to deliver fast, you will make mistakes. It's like when you drive really fast with cars. I guess there are some people driving really fast in Lebanon. Some accidents arrive. But it's fine if you repair fast. So you have, I don't know about car repair in Lebanon, but I hope it's fast. But here, the bet and the discussion I had with the managers is we'll have some mistakes in production, but as we deliver daily, as we are able to deliver fast, we'll be able to repair fast. And I've read something really interesting last month is, what is the best? Repair fast or few mistakes in production? In fact, it's the time between 2 mistakes can be long, but if your mistakes are really big and the system goes really down, even if it's not often, you have big troubles. So we prefer to have small mistakes, repair fast, and then we learn. That's the key. And then when you have a mistake, you really have to study why you had it. But it's about doing small mistakes. I recommend you that book if you don't know anything about even Agile, continuous delivery, DevOps. It's a novel, so you just read a book, a story of a guy working in the IT, having some experts as constraints, and discovering the impact of that. So it's really an extremely interesting book about that. It's not about techniques, it's really about the mindset. The first book was a novel. This book is really about why that works. It's even explaining how to have a strategy about releasing small things, why it works, why it helps you, why it simplifies things. So it's more about the lean mindset, but it's really interesting. So it's really how to set up a flow of features and how to organize around that. And it's in these books where I read about reducing per release cost, why releasing really small things helps, make things simple. And if you're not able to release simple things, why are you able to release big things? So it's the key. So when you just did a release, why you are not able to release the same thing with small things? So each time you have a chance to do small steps. Kanban is the same thing about how you manage a flow inside the team with limiting the work in progress. You work on small amount of things at the same time. Making continuous improvement, and a key thing about leadership, about the teams being able to work alone with a simple target, simple things in mind. They have to organize to be able to ship the software by themselves. On the QE side, that book is a key book about how the QE, the quality management, can be organized in software development teams. You can have, and we did have, a QE team, but the QE team was building tools for developers to test the systems themselves. So you can spend a lot of efforts with a QE team, but it has to be a software development team that build tools for test automation. So that, for me, was really a discovery. Maybe it's my mistake, but I discovered that it's smart to build tools for your team. And the last thing for us that totally changed our way to work is the Git system, Git flow, and the GitHub flow, where you can work with many features in parallel. So that's about the books we've read and the things we took ideas from. And how we work currently. The mindset is really you are in a motorbahn, I don't know how to say, a highway. You have features, each car is a feature. When you're trying to plan 1 year of work, you have to decide the order the cars will arrive at the end and which car will arrive at the end. What we try to do is to organize so we can let the car flow, and the first that arrives goes live, and each time a car is ready, we try to make it live. So we deliver when it's ready. That's really the mindset, and what Rami will explain this afternoon is the exec got that in the mind. What is ready can be shipped, so they don't force us to release everything because they want really only one thing among all what they asked. They focus on what they are waiting for the most. And we have to organize to be able to release only that. And that is complex because when you code, when you put everything in common on the code base, you can't release only one part. And that was our challenge. So from the developer level, you have to code, to test, to deploy, and to monitor the features. And the goal is to be able to do that in parallel. So our organization is the developers are doing the releases themselves. It's better for us this way. It's a non-event doing the release. We are doing that daily, and it has to be a non-event. You have to organize around that. But the mindset is developers should be able to say, I put the feature live because I have enough certainty that it's okay, the feature is okay, it works okay, the code is okay, and I'm not breaking other things. It's really about switching the mindset. The developer don't have to ask, can you put that live for me? It's, can I put that live alone? So, and the key is definitely around testing. So we have organized per feature showcase and functional review. So the developer and the business analyst review only that feature, and it has to work. So if the feature alone works, it's a good step. If it breaks other things, it's more the test that should say that it's broken. It's not a manual test that has to verify that something is broken. So my choice, and it's a crazy choice, is I prefer that the system goes down because two features are in conflict and nobody has seen that. So we can study why we didn't see that before. We have to fail on that. We don't have to get a team to avoid us to make mistakes. I want that the team makes mistakes because I know it's small mistakes, and as they release 3 or 4 features, it will be really extremely fast to know where it comes from. If you release 100 features at the same time, you don't know why it fails. So we prefer to do small mistakes, fast to repair on a small amount of features. So we are massively cheating, trying to make simple things. So we have 4 QE or quality steps. Functional test, if the developer has tested his feature alone on top of the production, with the business analyst, and they say it's okay. If we have a code review with another developer who reads the code on a simple target and says, okay, I don't see any big mistake in it. We have the web browser testing automation that tests the main cases of the system. That goes quite fast. And I show it just after the visual testing stuff, that there's no big mistakes on other pages. Then we should be able to release the software. And if it's not possible, I want to learn why. That's the strategy. So Selenium, I won't explain much. The visual regression, it's not really easy to see here, but we have a tool that takes screenshots of the production for many pages. The new system that will go live, pre-production, and we compare it pixel by pixel, and we can see it here. I don't know if we can see it, but the pink parts are things that are different. No, wait. You get, yeah. So it's here, there's a change, and the system says, be careful, on that page, there's a visual difference. Please check it. And it can save our life. And it's an information, and we are working on automating it a bit more, but there's a percentage of difference here, 4%, and it says, be careful on that page, there's something wrong. So we had some cases where buttons were inversed, or text swapped, and things like that, and it's really interesting, and even manually, it's not possible to test 100 pages without making some mistakes. And I prefer that it's a computer that makes a mistake than some people whose role is to avoid mistakes.
I can add something to that. Actually, the tool was developed internally by the teams, was for testing, and we ended up using it as well to monitor what's happening on the competition. So basically, we have all the websites of the competition without having somebody manually looking up what's happening, what they do, what changes. And we actually have a history of what's happening, and we get to know, oh, they changed something in their journey, they changed something on their price page, etc., etc.
Yeah.
We monitor very closely.
So the business took our tool to monitor the competition. And accidentally, the team opens, yeah. And we accidentally open sourced that tool.
You accidentally open sourced?
Yeah, no, it's intentionally, but it's open sourced. But it's not our business to make open source tool, but this one is quite useful, I guess, for others, so it's open source. And at code level, I don't know how many coders are here, but it's getting a bit more complex. The goal is to not be blocked or to not block the others. So you're writing a feature, another guy is writing another feature, and you have to get the code not blocking. So everybody usually is putting the code in common because it's the way to deliver software. Here we have to be really careful. So it's a bit hard to read again. When you release 100 times a day, you can put all the new code on a branch and do all your thing in it, and then when it's really ready, you do a code freeze where you test everything, you can review everything, and then you ship the software. After there's some progress, there's some teams that are so the goal is to release from the main branch the code that represents the production, and then you contribute in it only what will be released. You can work on branch, and then when you are ready to release, you put your branch in the master. And when you're in Scrum or in an organized planning, you know what will be released, so you can put in common what you want to release. In our case, we don't know what will be released. So we have to organize, and that system pull requests from GitHub says, this is ready, this is ready, this is ready. So you have like a French menu about what you want to release, so you can pick things. And with Git, so the software control, control management, I don't know, version management is merging the code for us, and we are able to have a candidate release from features that are ready. So the good practice at code level is each time you have changed something in the system per developer, you have to do a compilation and all the automated tests. You have to do that on your branch, on your feature, to make sure your feature is working. But when you have 20 developers working in parallel in separated environments, it's hard to know if the common part of all their work is working. So what we've developed for us is a tool that mixes everything automatically and then tests the results. And we thought it won't work, and we were wrong. It works. And that's the biggest surprise for us, is merging 30 branches can work. You have to tell the developer it should work. That's all. The trick is tell the software engineers that their code should merge automatically, and they will find out. Sometimes with some stress, but they find out. And it's an interesting pattern. So we have branches, feature branches, and when a developer, so the part is that octopus stuff is we are merging the features, and when the developer is adding some new code, we simply drop the merge and redo it. So we don't have an history of the merge, so it let us do some really fun stuff like removing a branch. When something is really bad in it, you just kill it and redo the merge. The merge will be done without the feature. So you don't have to do a reverse commit to remove some bad code and things like that.
Duplicates?
No, it's just merge. So you have duplicates everywhere, and you merge them automatically. But if you remove something in the merge, it will disappear. So it's, I said it for another thing, but we are massively cheating. It's allowed. And it works. And that's the key. It's a simple Git command we've used, but we've believed in it. And we've also open sourced some tooling around that. But leaving the branches, so it's really the pull request on Git. It's something maybe you are using. The only thing we are doing with that is we are trying to merge all of them to check if there's some conflicts, even at the unit test level, deployment level, Selenium testing level. So it's really that which we think is interesting to know, is to know the future failures you can't know yet, and no developer can know, and you don't want to bother the developers if there's no mistake. So from the developer point of view, you have the master, the production code, his code, and he'll be warned if there's something wrong with something done by another one. So it's more our organization on that. So the summary for me, release should not be an event. It's really hard to get there. But you have the target. You have the strategy here. Release should not be an event. Release what is ready. So it's, again, you have to organize around that. And the mindset is don't block the others. And that's quite it for me. Thank you for listening.
Was this when you were a bit younger?
No, it's a specific. So the team has a Twitter account, and the code is on GitHub, Les Furets. There's few other things like keyboard study for the coders, which keyboard they are using, and things like that. So yeah.
Thank you.
How can we get the presentation slides?
GitHub, Les Furets. It's an HTML presentation, so yeah, it will be on. It's not myself. It's code.
You can't even like JPEG that?
Maybe in PDF, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So I have two questions.
Yeah.
First one, concerning if you are doing more than one release per day,
Yeah.
okay, how do you manage your development samples? Okay, I mean, how do you move from staging to from development to staging to production?
It's the per day has nothing to say. It's just a choice we've done to select the features that are ready every day. But if I want to release more than once a day, I just have to do more cycles. So the cycle is I take the production code, I add only the features that are ready, I push them in production, and I do it again. So if your release cycle is fast, you can do it 10 times, 100 times a day. And our goal to release many times a day is each feature alone goes live.
Okay, so the other question is concerning the migration. Let's say each developer did the unit test and make sure that his code is good. Okay, after he commit his code, you did the merge, and that after that you did the integration testing, and you find that it's a problem.
Yeah.
How do you know where is this problem from, or which branch is causing this problem?
It's their work. Someone will say, okay, sorry. If each of the branches are working and the merge of all is not working, they can discuss together. There's something wrong in the system, but it's not often. And it would occur also when everybody is working on the same branch. So it's a problem that occurs anyway. But you know what changed before and after. So there's few change between. So you know quite fast where it can be. Yeah.
Just an idea of how to do the feature management.
Yeah.
How do you divide the work to say these are the features? This is the feature.
Yeah. You can go to see a bit Rami's presentation this afternoon, but the goal is to have independent features. So you have to design the improvement of your system so they can be done independently. So you improve a button, you have definitely to have independent design of your features. So it's really continuous improvement, and they have to be able to be shipped one independently from the other. If you need another feature, wait for it. Yeah. Right.
So I think your question is more upfront. How would you think? Okay.
Yep.
So we're judging on developing what we call the minimum viable product. So basically we're going to say what's the minimum we need to go into production. We don't like to do projects that last 7 months. Then we're discussing and negotiating, and everybody will change their mind later on. So we really go push on the going to strict minimums. And once we figure out the strict minimums we need to do, and only then we'll cut the customers actually will tell us if it's working or not. It's not us around the table with our agreement agreement. This is what defines feature first. We're going to discuss it in that agreement.
Yeah.
This
this methodology is okay for some nice solution like web application and others. But what about distributed architecture? Complex ERP with many application server, database server.
Yeah.
You cannot release during the day. And
Not my fault. That's
you have something for the classical way.
But you have to move from system that can't be deployed independently or many times a day. If you want to be agile, you have to work with agile tools. You can't make an old car an electric car. If your system is not able to go faster, then you have good explanations of why you want to change it. But you can be smart and do many release on some part of the system and monthly release on the big parts. You're not changing the core of your system every day. You're changing some user interface parts and for the users, fixing things. You can release that every day, and the core system still releasing that each month. So it depends.
You have test on regression.
Yeah.
Regression test on the code.
Yeah.
What about regression test on the database?
Yeah, but it's included.
If you have a default or default in your release,
Yeah.
it could have damaged the database and
Yeah.
you recover this.
Yeah.
Cannot be live.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to get a database that is. No, we have a system that accepts. No, but we're working with a system that more accumulates and survive to those mistakes. So for database it's complex because some database don't like mistakes, and we are more in a document system where you have wrong documents and we manage them or we exclude them or something like that. So it's yeah.
Well, in my company we are working Agile or working Scrum. So our main concern here is about the business analyst.
Yeah.
My question is, should the business analyst be integrated within the team?
Yeah.
Like having tasks in the sprint, or
Yeah.
the work should be outside the sprint?
No, for me, Rami is leading the business analyst.
Yeah, my team, so I can answer this. Basically, the way we do it is we have feature teams. They all sit in the same place. So we have the marketing team, the product owners, business analysts, IT, they all sit in the same place. We don't sit people by function. So everybody is already doing the same goals. It's different things. So they would have always the daily discussions the whole time. They're sitting next to each other. They are one team. They have one objective. They're all around one KPI. Then later on, when it regards to testing, by removing basically the QA team, the way to mitigate this, we did two things. First of all, every 3 weeks, we negotiate with the management saying, listen guys, we know we deliver every day. We need to have half a day of testing. The whole delivery team, BAs, PMs, IT, is testing basically, and there are bugs. And we manage the bug pipeline basically in terms of criticality. The BAs are included, they're mostly on the functional end instead of the technical end, of course. And we say there's a critical level of bugs we can accept. Once we arrive at this critical level of bugs, and okay, we can declare what we call a bug fest. A bug fest is we can book the whole company basically for a whole week. When I say the whole company, even HR go into it basically. And it's like we make it like a fun event. Instead of talking about bug, we talk about the quality fest. It happens like every 3 months maybe. So the whole company has authorization the whole day to work on the website, and this is the way as well to get everybody knowing the website. So you have plenty of people who are new in the company, marketing, HR, commercial, whatever. They don't even know the website, how it's working. So get them on the site as regular users, and they declare bugs and we correct things as we go.
So I have the proof that Lebanese speak only about problems. So in the main case, the business analysts are working with the team on the new features. Yeah. So we can discuss that after, but the fact is the business analyst can work on future tasks during the developers working on what is ready, but it's inside the team, and that's it. So it's just the Kanban system that you don't have to have a full list of things to start and finish in an iteration. We are in a flow. We work only on what is ready to start, and we release what is ready to release. and we are doing work in parallel.